it might boil down to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's poorly coordinated substitutions in terms of who will win the match today between Bournemouth and Manchester United. Manchester United has lost 5 points in the last 3 matches owing to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's poorly coordinated substitutions. Against Newcastle, he made a substitution for Greenwood and Longstaff scored shortly after. Against Norwich, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made 3 quick substitutions and Fernandes scored thereafter. Against Liverpool, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer brought in Martial for Rashford instead of bringing in a defender, and Lallana scored thereafter. So Manchester United have lost points as a result of that. Why I call them poorly coordinated substitutions is because when you substitute, you should also cater for the stability of the team on the field. When players are on the field, they're adhering to a certain philosophy, and when you put someone else in, it sort of like destabilizes either as the formation changes or as that person sort of like gets acclimatized to their new role, and there's always a chance of a goal going either in for you or against you. But for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, it's been mostly against. Why am I saying that it might be down to such an event? It's because all the other parameters are looking sort of like balanced, even though Manchester United are looking like they have a slight advantage. So stay tuned as I now talk about the other reasons why I'm saying that the parameters will be slightly balanced, slightly skewed towards United, even though neutral. Manchester United has not played against a team which starts with a 4-4-2 this season. This is very important because Manchester United is very sketchy right now and not reliable. Of the formations that it has played more than once, it is the best record against the 4-1-4-1, winning 66.67% of the matches. And this is because the 4-1-4-1 basically is an attacking formation, and United does well against teams who attack like Liverpool because they leave United players spaces to run into. As you know, our forwards do not have much flair. They cannot penetrate defenses which sit. So when you get space, you get the likes of Rashford running in and shooting, which is something he's good at. That's why you've got the 4-1-4-1 being the formation United has performed the best against. Now, Bournemouth usually start with a 4-4-2, a bit of a more cautious approach. This means that there will be less space for United to penetrate into, and this makes it a tricky match for United. Bournemouth, luckily for United, has got nothing to offer. It's not shooting, it's not passing, it's not doing whatever. So it'll be there for the taking, but question is, can Manchester United actually penetrate? Bournemouth also is not in a position to take advantage of Manchester United's obvious weaknesses, such as Fred is being played out of position and is a highway basically through which any team can penetrate through the middle and attack the back four. Manchester United is like that. Bournemouth has got nothing to offer. In the middle of the pitch, you've got Billing, and someone else. These guys, as okay as they are, cannot actually do anything about those weaknesses. Let's be honest, a lot of people are talking about Manchester United being out of the woods. I don't think so. Today, though, is a very good opportunity for United to actually extend that little winning streak that they're on. But I do not see signs that actually say United are out of the woods. Norwich was basically an easy game. Even though I did say Norwich had an advantage in my previous review, they did not press on it. Bournemouth now actually does not have an advantage, but is sitting back, unlike Norwich, which was attacking. So it's going to be tricky to tell. United have a slight advantage there, but that's just about it. Now, what's important in this likely drab match where Bournemouth will be sitting and United will be attacking a bit is who actually controls possession. United will be controlling possession through Young and McTominay, and Bournemouth should be controlling possession through Rico and Billing. So the team which actually places those two centers of possession next to each other actually will have a better chance of controlling possession. Alright, because if you put McTominay on the other end of the field and Ashley Young on the other end of the field, you split that axis. So whoever puts them together actually has a better chance of controlling possession. If they put them both together, expect both teams to be attacking from the left back, which is the first time this has happened where both teams had the center of control position from the left back. So maybe expect a lot of long balls and whatnot. One thing Bournemouth can actually do to actually gain an advantage is overload one side of the pitch. Okay, if they go to their left side and put Rico there, right, and put Billing there, and then put King there on the left, and even Fraser on the left, and overload James Wan-Bissaka and probably Scott McTominay or Fred, Bournemouth will have an avenue with which to go to goal. So we'll see when they actually announce their starting lineups whether they've gone for this. Another route that Bournemouth can use to go is via the air, especially using Solanke. I doubt if Solanke will start the match, but he'll probably come in later. People who are on the pitch for Bournemouth who are a bit good in the air are Billing, and to some extent Cook, maybe for the corner kicks, even though Bournemouth is not very accurate on corners, and Callum Wilson to some extent. If those 3 to 4 guys can actually attack Lindelof, who is useless in the air, they can actually have a chance of getting something on goal. They also have that option of bringing in Solanke later on in the match when Lindelof is tired. They go through the long ball, attack Lindelof. That might actually be a route to goal. United, as usual, might not have something very defined. It's just going to be scraping and scrapping until they actually get to the goal. Basically, this is how Bournemouth can surprise United. We'll see if they start like that. It's basically going to be possession swinging back to forth. Anything can happen in this match. So there you go, a match which United should take because it's got more for it going forward, but a match in which Bournemouth could surprise United because it can overload its left wing, it can go via the air, attack Victor Lindelof. A match which is tricky for United. It's not come up against the 4-4-2. Bournemouth can simply sit back and not give players like Rashford that space to run into. As you know, United players don't have the flair to break it down. So United with the slight advantage, but I've just laid out all the various scenarios that might come into play that can swing the match back and forth. So don't get too excited if you're a Manchester United fan. If they get it right, they're gonna get it right. If they don't get it right, they don't get it right. Luckily for United, Bournemouth is not giving much going forward, but defensively it's shown to be a bit sturdy, holding Arsenal and the likes. Also, I think it drew with West Ham, if I'm not mistaken, and something like that. So it could be a draw, slightly maybe in favor of United, or they can be surprised. Let me know what you think about my analysis in the comments below. What do you think about the key battles that I've mentioned? What do you think about the parameters that I've mentioned that actually make this game a bit of a neutral thing? Yeah, hope you might get something, but Bournemouth is sitting. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, share this video, and let people know that today is a match worth watching, and it's not an obvious result. I'm not going to lean towards any team right now because both teams are just lame. Cheers.